So yeah, Dean Farber, I'm 18 years old, just graduated high school, and I'll kind of go through my story with business, which starts in fourth grade. So fourth grade, uh, something that was huge at the time, Pokemon cards, as well as sports cards. I had a Pokemon card collection. My brother had a Pokemon card collection. Everyone at school had a collection, sports cards as well. And during school, everyone would bring their cards to school and trade them. And one day on eBay, I decided to look up my collection to see did I have any valuable cards. What were my cards selling for? And I realized, all right, well, I had like a $100 collection. I had no idea as a fourth grader. I was just opening the packs. And technically what I started to do was just go to school and trade up. Every single day I would just trade up cards. And then, I taught myself how to sell on eBay, which I'm saying like that's hard. It's super simple. And just, flip them. I'd sell the cards on eBay and then, go back and maybe buy the cards that are cheaper, but that everyone wants, trade up again. Yeah. And, I feel like I learned a very important lesson, and that's, I tried sports cards. I tried flipping sports cards, but I just simply wasn't as into it. And, tried it, and I just wasn't really willing to, spend the hours listing those individual cards. And I figured that, I would have more success in doing something that I found was enjoyable. And selling on eBay, that turned into searching up Pokemon card collection on eBay, filtering that to auctions, and then ending soonest. And then I would basically snipe the auctions of people's collections for under market, and then go on eBay, list them individually, turn a profit. Next slide, please. Fifth grade, sixth grade comes along, and the new big thing is Supreme clothing. Maybe you guys heard of it. It recently just got sold, the whole brand, but sixth grade, it was huge. It was the brand that every kid was asking their parents on Christmas for. They would resell just a white shirt with their red box logo, could sell for $700 at the time, even more now. Just a white T-shirt with their logo. And this brand, they would release new clothing every Thursday during their seasons, which is 7 months out of the 12, every Thursday at 11 a.m. So what I did is I'd say, hey, Mr. Johnson, can I go to the bathroom? And I'd grab my phone and I'd start typing away, refresh, 11 a.m. I would, try and go as quick as possible, because these would sell out in a minute, 2 minutes. And I'd try and get maybe a shirt, try and get a sweatshirt, maybe an accessory, a hat or something, anything. And then I would go on eBay and sell that. So this is a picture that I took in sixth grade, and that was my inventory at the time. And I learned the lesson of switching lanes. I noticed all my peers were interested in this new thing, right? It wasn't Pokemon cards anymore. So I decided to go after that. All right, so this is a screenshot, and it's hard to see the date, but to get these pictures, what I did, I just went back into my camera roll and then screenshot the actual picture, and therefore it'll have a timestamp at the top. It's hard to see. This was 2017. And I think the important thing to point out here is that I had 2 active listings and 12 sold. So my problem was, getting enough inventory. All right, I'd much rather be in a business that my issue was with getting the item, not with selling the item. The demand was there. So I needed to figure out a way to scale. I needed to figure out a way to get more of that item. And, I had to find and meet people so we could get more of that item and learn from them. I had to, do whatever. I needed to get more of the items. All right. So I don't know why the text is messed up, but so this is a screenshot. Now this is 2018. And, so Supreme, they had a very strict that's one item per person, right? I mean, you can get a shirt and a sweatshirt, but you can't get two of the same shirts. So I met someone through these group chats of like resellers, people who were doing it better than me, essentially. And so I met this person who was offering what was called proxies. And what that was is he would run a computer software called like bots, and they would go after the items. They'd try and check out the items, under different, payment methods. There was this thing called privacy, which you could create, 200 debit cards off of one bank account. So I did that. So I'd have all these different, addresses in terms of Supreme's eyes. I found out that if you can just put apartment 39 on a house and it'll still go to your house, apartment 45. And each apartment would register in Supreme's database as a different address. So he would run the computer softwares, and this is a screenshot from one of the drops. And I was doing this every Thursday at 11. And I no longer had to ask the teacher to go to the bathroom. He was doing it all for me. And I remember this one. This was a champion collab with Supreme. And these retailed for $350 a piece. But I was able to sell all 5 of them in a week for about $500 a piece. So that was, a great come up on that week. That's all because I started joining these group chats. I started to meet people who were doing it better than me. Experiment. So this is a picture. This is now 8th grade. And, so I started to get into shoes now. Shoes were still big and trending with Supreme. I just didn't get into it until 8th grade. And, I got into shoes because my brother's friend who was selling shoes at the time, I knew he was. I basically just asked him if I could come over and, see what he was doing. And, I ended up realizing, all right, he's not selling on eBay and he's just selling on Instagram, and he had a lot of dead inventory. So what I did is I just bought his dead inventory that for, his cost or whatever, at least what he told me was his cost. And I would sell them on eBay. And I did that. And then, I also started to, so the beige boxes at the bottom, those all came from lowballing. So I also started to, on different marketplaces, place hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lowball offers. And roughly 5% of those would get accepted, but when they would, it's essentially free money. So yeah, next slide, please. I stick with it. So I was sticking with shoes. I wasn't going to the next thing yet. And I was starting to do some more fun things with shoes. So this picture, this is a Yeezy 350 carbons. And, because I was meeting all these new people, these different group chats, Instagram, I was able to middleman this deal. So I knew someone that had the item, had the Yeezys, and I knew someone that wanted them. And I was able to just go in there and middleman the deal. And so the seller was local, so my brother drove me. Says Jack Farber at the top, that's my brother. He drove me and we picked up the shoes, and then that night I shipped them out. And I was able to make about $30 a pair here. I was just doing some more fun stuff with the shoes. And I realized, all right, I was selling one used shoe on eBay, and now I'm, wholesaling like 30 pair deals. I gotta stick with it a little bit. So, can we next? So through one of these group chats, I know I keep saying group chat, there was someone that posted a screenshot of a sale for this Vapor Max shoe. And he sold it for about $250. And this is about a $140 shoe. And I didn't recognize the platform, and it wasn't StockX, Goat, eBay, which are all very popular sneaker selling platforms. It wasn't any of that. I just tell by the design. So I reach out to him and I ask him, what is this platform? How'd you get this behemoth of a sale? And he says, it's Amazon. I've never heard of that. And I say, can you teach me? And he says, no. And I was like, well, can I pay you to teach me? And I'm thinking he's gonna say $300, I'll teach you. He says 3,000. And I was thinking that's a large sum of my capital. We ended up settling on 2,000. So I was taking a big risk here. And I essentially just paid him $2,000 to teach me how to get the Nike permit. Because Amazon doesn't just let anyone go on and sell Nike. Nike doesn't let anyone go on and sell Nike. So you have to get a permit to sell it. So, I paid him. He came through on his end, and my account was approved to sell Nike in a couple of weeks. So that, see if you can play the video. I feel like talking over it.
Yeah, give us 1 second, because otherwise we didn't share the sound. Hold on 1 second. We'll need to.
I don't think it's any sound.
Oh, there's no sound?
No, it's just a video.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's fine. It's just
Okay.
So what it was is just a video of me walking around my brother's car, and it was my first week selling on Amazon. Holiday season, so sales are generally larger there. My first week, I was now filling the car with orders, so I knew that all right, I gotta stick with Amazon. It's looking pretty good. So yeah. So
Is it on? Oh, there you go. Sorry. Thanks, Mark.
All right, so I've been doing Amazon for the last 4 years now, and until about a year and a half ago, I wouldn't delegate any of the tasks. I wouldn't have a friend who would come over and pack up the boxes. But I started to do that, and each of those boxes at the bottom would take about 4 minutes to pack. 4 minutes, including finding the shoe, marking it as sold in my spreadsheet, taping it up, getting the shipping label, putting it on about 4 minutes, and that would start to add up. So I started having friends come over, packing the boxes. Meanwhile, I was focused on getting the right shoes in, getting shoes that I know I could sell very quickly, and just focus more on the buying aspect and less on the manual aspect. But yeah, I continued finding new buyers, finding new sellers, and just really started to build like a network of sellers. So these are just some more pictures. So on the right, that's one of my good friends who would start coming over and start packing up the boxes. And that's a picture of him after a hard day at work. And on the left, that was last year's Black Friday. So that was a great day. 63 pairs sold that day. And I've been doing Amazon since freshman year, about 4 years now. And I've been able to do well over 1 million in sales on the Amazon platform. And yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot of great lessons, and I look forward to what's next. Thank you.
Cool.